And Fox Sports Radio 1350.com. Now, here's more with Pep on the Inland Empire Sports Show.
Can you feel it? Football season is right around the corner.
Has football season even ended?
It never ends, man. Off season, we just got the combine and the draft for the NFL.
We got signing periods. We got everything going on.
High school teams have had their, spring practices, colleges and their spring games, all kinds of stuff. We're going to break it down. The world of high school football in the Inland Empire, and it starts with our man right here, Alex Mattison, the pride of Cardinal City. He just signed our San Bernardino shirt over here, Jeff.
That is awesome. So, yeah, we've got a few signatures on the wall now.
It's our Wall of Fame.
It's part of the Wall of Fame.
Well, Alex Mattison now at Boise State is going to join us in just a couple minutes. We're going to talk about that. Also, I want to ask him about the Ken Hubbs Awards. I think you're going, right, Alex?
Yeah.
On Monday?
Yeah, we'll be attending that.
Yeah, we'll talk Ken Hubbs as well. We'll talk football. In our second segment, we've got Tim Cook. Not only the athletic director, but also the head basketball coach at Life Pacific College. Jeff, I didn't know about Life Pacific until now, and they're playing all these big-time programs.
Hey, seventh in the nation in the NAIA at the top conference in the country, the GSAC. He's turned that program around with local ties here to Riverside. So
we're excited to talk to Coach Cook. We're also going to hear from Coach Maynard, the head football coach at the University of Redlands. They've got a bunch of schools coming to do some satellite camps at the U of R, including Oregon, Washington State. No offense, Alex. Some of these other programs. We got Alex in the house. But yeah, we're going to hear from the coach, Coach Maynard out there at the U of R. And then in our final segment, we're going to bring you up to speed on local high school baseball and softball. We had some huge battles in the Big 8 League down the stretch. We had Taylor Dawkins at Norco High School, the softball pitcher, break the CIF Southern Section record for career wins. Unbelievable. And she's beating cancer on top of all that. So it's an amazing story.
And plenty of season left.
Yeah, and she still has at least 4 games or so to go because Norco's going to make a great playoff run. Undefeated, 30-0, number 1 in the nation right now. Got a lot to get to. It's all brought to you by our good friends at Spoiled. Quick quality oil change. You'll be spoiled by their excellent customer service. Great prices. Check them out off Alessandro Boulevard. Ken Sporting Goods. More than 40 years in the Inland Empire. Still going strong. Taking care of all your sports gear needs. Letterman's jackets. All the good stuff. Check out kensportinggoods.com. Fandom House Studio. Nobody has better sports edits than Fandom House Studio. Get a great photo shoot for the athlete in your life. Maybe senior pictures, wedding pictures. Not that you're going to get married again, Jeff, but
hey, you never know.
FandomHouse.com for more details. And, of course, Boost Performance Training. Athletes of all levels need to check out Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass and his team, bringing experience and passion and commitment, grooming great athletes. Check out boosttrainingsystems.com. A little bit later in the show, we'll have our Boost training tip for the week from Coach Ray Bass. It'll be fun. Well, this guy, man, I remember him on IMG Sports Weekly Live. He was in all the highlights. I want to go back with Alex Mattison when he broke the San Bernardino rushing record. And you scored a touchdown, I think, on the run, right, that broke the record?
Yeah.
And you were holding your hand. I've never asked you this. Did you have a broken hand? Like, what happened on that play?
No, I actually had jammed my finger earlier in the game pretty bad, and I was just playing through it, just like most players do. But on that specific play, I think I took a helmet to the finger, but just made sure I punched it in.
It was like one of those storybook endings. He breaks the record. He's holding his hand. He goes in for a touchdown. It was amazing. But now you're at Boise State. I'm going to rattle off your stats from your freshman season. 328 yards on the ground, 4 touchdowns as a true freshman. You had a huge game against San Jose State, 100 yards. Going in as a true freshman, what were you thinking going in? Were you like, man, I don't know if I'll even touch the ball. Am I going to get some carries? I mean, what was kind of your expectations, at least going into the season?
First off, when I got there, it was kind of a shock. There was 8 running backs. It was actually 9. One got moved to a corner, but there was 8 backs. And I was like, oh, man, there's a senior, there's the starter, there's, a junior, redshirt, sophomore, and I'm competing with these guys and the other 2 freshmen that came in. So it was just, a process of me just trusting myself and trusting what God put me on earth to do and just going out there and getting it. And, it came time where, I was named the guy that was going to be a true freshman and then just worked my way into the rotation, made sure that I was on that field my freshman year.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and I've been known to be wrong before, but that first game of the season, I think it was at Louisiana Lafayette.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
That's correct.
And I was watching online, like ESPN3 or one of those, and I saw you in the game, and I'm like, yes, Alex is playing. And I think did you have a touchdown in that game?
Yeah, I actually, the crazy part was that I ended up being the leading rusher that game and had a touchdown. So I scored my first collegiate touchdown and had my first leading rushing game.
Did you feel like, oh man, okay, the pressure feels like, like a little bit of that pressure, like, okay, I know I can compete. I got that first touchdown. I feel like I'm just one of the guys now. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, that actually happened after my first carry because I came in on a 3rd and 4, first time ever playing a game, first time ever getting a carry, and I got to get the first down. So, after I got that first down, I think it might have been like a 7-yard carry for my first touch. I was like, okay, I can do this. Let's go.
We're talking with Alexander Mattison from Boise State University and, of course, from San Bernardino High School, Cardinal City, USA. You don't know this, but we had one of our interns on the show.
That's right.
Yeah, remember Jeff Mason?
Mason went out there and was filming him.
Yeah, he went up to your game against BYU.
Oh, really?
He was on the sidelines. He got pictures of you. You probably know it. We put it all over Instagram and Twitter and all that. But he said, he called me. He was super loud. He's like, dude, Alexander just ran out with the hammer, right?
Yeah.
What's the deal with the hammer at Boise State?
Well, the deal with the hammer is that the player that had the biggest hit, usually it's on special teams or maybe just the biggest hit, game-changing hit throughout the game. That person gets to carry out the hammer the next game. So I had a play in Colorado State where I ran down on kickoff and just ran through this guy. And so we played it over in the team meeting, and they were like, yeah, this is the hammer right here. And then I also got it again. Then I think it was the following game against BYU, that play that kind of went a little viral when I ran over I'm not sure what his name was, but that outside linebacker from BYU, I ended up running through him. So I ended up having the hammer twice throughout the season.
So you were like Thor. You got to carry the hammer twice?
Yeah, and it was a big deal, I guess, because a true freshman has never brought out the hammer twice in a season before.
That's
pretty
huge.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's a huge deal.
That's cool.
They love football in Boise. What's it like when that place is packed? Maybe you're leading the guys out on the field with a hammer. I mean, can you describe or try to put it into words what that feeling is like?
Man, you have to experience it for yourself. It's crazy. It's really dreamlike. When I'm out there on the field and it's just so loud, you just would never expect to be standing there in that moment. It's a dream come true. I look up and you just see lights and fans, and you just hear the crowd going crazy. You hear Boise State, and it's amazing.
We're talking with Alexander Mattison from Boise State University. Jeff, you're chomping at the bit.
Yeah, I just want to know, you leave San Bernardino, you move out to Boise, Idaho. Culture shock in itself.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah.
And then you go out and you're playing on a blue field. I mean, in general, it's just your whole world turns upside down because you're in a different place. How did you adjust to being in Boise? And do you like it out there? Is it something you're in?
Oh, I love it there. There's stuff to do everywhere. It's a town that's really centered on the campus and Boise State football at that. So it's amazing. The people are amazing. There's a river that runs down the back of campus. There's downtown right across the bridge. There's so much you can do there. The weather.
Used to that cold,
that was a pretty big shock getting down to like 3 degrees, 13, 11 here and there. So I guess I don't know if I am adapted all the way yet, but I did manage to deal with that pretty well my first year.
I mean, there's got to be other California guys on the team. They're probably all like, "Whoa, dude, I didn't pack my winter jacket."
Yeah, there's a lot of guys there. So when it first started up, they're like, "Oh, you're gonna need this, you're gonna need that." So yeah.
Do you bundle up like underneath your pads, or like once the opening kickoff, you're like, I forget about how cold it is?
Well, as a running back, our running back coach doesn't want us wearing sleeves. So you kind of just gotta expect to be cold. Is
it because you can hold on to the ball better?
Yeah,
is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay.
You don't want to fumble, and so you just go out with their mindset. Just you play the game. You don't really think about it.
Talking with Alexander Mattison here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports 1350 AM, plus live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports Channel. Now, Jeff, Alexander walked in here, and I was like, Alex, how was that Boise State spring game? And I know you had just had knee surgery.
I did a week ago today.
Alex just had shoulder surgery. I didn't even know it. So, Alex, when did you have surgery, and how's it going right now?
I had surgery January 12th. soon as we got back, I ended up tearing my labrum and my right shoulder. Fall camp about a week or two in. And,
you just played through it the whole season?
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, it happened during practice, and then after practice, kind of felt a sting. Then I was out of practice for about 3 days just because I woke up and couldn't really move my shoulder. Just did rehab to get it better because we didn't know exactly what was wrong with it. So played through the season and then finally got an MRI at the end of the season. Ended up having a torn labrum, some chipped bone, and I stayed positive through it, and I just knew that I was gonna have to do this in order to be 100% when the season rolled around. So as soon as I got back, I had surgery, got fixed up a little bit, and I'm back feeling strong now. I'd probably give myself a good 90-95%.
Oh, so you're good to go for fall camp. I mean, like when you guys report back in, what would be August, I guess?
Yeah, well, I actually have to report back May 28th.
Oh, they don't mess around.
Yeah, so that's when we start summer training, starting lifts, runs, all that team practices. So, yeah.
That's what they do when you're, national. They're always in the national talks. They got the USCs, but Boise's always in the mix. Always.
Perennial power.
Yes.
Top 25 perennial power. We got Alexander Mattison here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports 1350 AM. You won the Ken Hubbs Award for the boys, and Kayla Washington from Cajon won it last year for the girls, and we're going to punch up a picture from that ceremony last year. You're going to go to the awards this coming Monday?
Yeah, I'll be attending that.
Are you excited? And what did it mean to you last year? I mean, there's so many great athletes in San Bernardino County, but for you to win the overall for the boys, I mean, that's a huge deal. A lot of tradition with this award. Yeah,
it was a big deal to me. Going throughout high school, that was something I looked for at the end of my senior year as a freshman, sophomore, junior. I was like, man, this is a big award. It'd be such an honor to win it. And so going in and coming out with that award was amazing. It was such an honor. And so I'm excited to see how it goes this year. We got 2 candidates from our school that are going in. I personally know the male athlete of the year from my school because we wrestled together. So
okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I ended up going through the wrestling period for 2 years, and he was a great wrestler, and so I'm excited to see what happens on Monday.
See, Alex, stud athlete, also great in the classroom as well. How are classes going at Boise State?
Classes are going well. They're going
probably easy for you, right?
Yeah, I just finished up first semester with a 3.78, which is pretty good.
What was your toughest class?
Toughest.
Like the one you're like, okay, I got to put in extra time on this one. I got to dig deep.
Coming off of surgery, I say the toughest class was English 102. That was because that was focused on research papers. And so we had so much to do and a couple different research papers throughout the semester, and I was kind of playing catch up and trying to stay on top of things. So that was probably the most challenging, but I ended up coming out strong, and I'm not sure what my GPA was for this semester, but I think it's around the same as first semester, which it's pretty good to me.
You still practicing your Spanish?
Yeah,
I'm you're a bilingual guy over here too.
I'm actually gonna minor in Spanish.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
Nice. Look at this, cultured guy toting the rock on that blue turf, which you love, Jeff.
Gosh, man, yeah, I'm telling you, it's my favorite team. Always has been.
Alex, what about being on national TV? Like, is that pretty cool? Like, when you guys know it's like, hey, it's an ESPN Thursday night game or whatever. Like, all the cameras, nationwide audience. I mean, is that a cool feeling? Do you kind of get up for that, get the juices going?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Just coming from where I came from, I never really had anything on TV.
You were on Sports Weekly Live on IEMG. I mean, that's a big deal.
That's huge.
Yeah, and that was a big deal to me in high school. So being national, on national TV, where I was sitting on my couch watching just a year ago, it's pretty surreal to me. So it's amazing, and it's a blessing. And I just remember sitting back watching, looking on TV, watching SC and all these other schools, and now I'm there playing amongst these other guys and schools that I used to look at, and it's awesome. It's crazy.
Now, I haven't looked at the Broncos non-conference schedule coming up, but do you have any big teams you're playing in non-conference before you guys,
I think so. We start off with Troy. Okay. That's our first game of the season, home game.
As a coach would say, that's the only one that matters right now. Get ready for Troy, right?
Well, we're going down to BYU. I've heard from other players. I've never been there, but
Jeff went to BYU. He played basketball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard their stadium. They got a lot of fans, and it gets pretty rowdy over there.
Yeah, they're not friendly fans. I'm gonna be honest with you. They might
They'd be nice though, right?
You think those nice Mormons? They're storming Mormons up there, and they're out for blood when they want, especially for football.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just be careful.
Yeah, so that's one I'm really looking forward to there. And
did you guys play a Pac-12 school last year?
Yeah, we actually played 2. We're playing. I think we played Washington State again this year, but we played Washington State and Oregon State last season.
You beat them both, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
We took that as our Pac-12 championship, you know. So.
Well, Alex, we let you go. What are your expectations going into your sophomore year? I mean, obviously, you got the playing time, you got some touchdowns, had a great freshman year. Now you're coming back as a sophomore. You're going to be healthy 100%. I mean, you played pretty much the whole season all banged up with that bad shoulder. I can't believe being 100% healthy how you're going to do. But what are your expectations for yourself?
Well, I expect to go back, get to this grind, and make sure I take that starting position. And the other guy that I really look forward to working with and giving that 1-2 punch with is Ryan Wolpen. We work hard at what we do every day, and so I'm looking forward to the type of season it turns out to be. And I'm just ready to get back to the grind. I haven't put on a helmet and shoulder pads in such a long time, and I'm hungry for it. Watching those other guys go through spring practices and the spring game, I just miss it so much. And I'm just ready.
So for the spring game, were you the guy on the sideline, like waving a towel or whatever, and pumping everybody up?
Yeah, I was out there helping out, trying to coach up some of the running backs on some pointers I see that they might not have saw.
Or special teams blowing somebody up, right?
Yeah, so I just made sure I had fun with it, because it's never good to just sit there and mope around and be depressed about not being able to play. So I made sure I contributed in any way I could. I made sure that I made fun of the opportunity just to even be there.
So whether it's running back, special teams, you just want to be on the field making plays, right?
Yeah, I'm just ready to get back out there.
Wait, did you play both sides of the ball at San Bernardino?
Did you play I ended up playing some safety and a little bit outside linebacker, but they didn't really want to let me,
Yeah, I mean, of course, they need you running the rock.
Yeah. So, but I do have experience on defensive side, especially even as a kid growing up. I played on both sides of the ball, special teams. So,
well, I'm just curious, because when you got to Boise, was the special teams coach like, you know what? Let's stick him on the kickoff unit or whatever, and then you're just, running through guys, like you said.
Actually, I don't know what that conversation was like to where they decided to put me there, but they ended up putting me at the 5 spot, which is right next to the kicker. Pretty much the guys that get down there and need to get the ball.
Yeah.
The fastest guys on the inside. So, they're like, one game, they're like, all right, this week you're going to be starting on kickoff. So, throughout practice, I just was like, oh man, this is my time really, because at that point I had only been getting here and there, that Louisiana Lafayette, Oregon State a little bit, and then after those 3 games or so, when I jumped in there and I was starting kickoff and went down there, and I just made sure I tried to lay the hammer on anyone I could.
It was your chance to make an impact in the game, right?
Yeah,
impress the coaches.
I actually was kind of bummed at first when it happened. I was kind of like, oh, I got to play kickoff.
Yeah.
But getting in there, just the mentality I had, I went after it, and after a couple games, when my shoulder kind of got a little banged up a little more, then they kind of pulled me. I was kind of bummed. I was like, oh man, I want to go back out there and run down there. But it was pretty awesome just having that experience, going down there and playing a different position, playing a different something else. Especially in college, just getting that experience.
Not too bad for running back.
Not bad at all.
It's the great Alexander Mattison, the pride of Cardinal City. Alex, we can't thank you enough for making time for us on the Inland Sports Show. Best of luck for your sophomore season at Boise State, brother.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, we come back. Tim Cook from Live Pacific and details on the football camps coming up at the University of Redlands. You're listening to the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
So how you guys doing? My name is Coach Ray Bass. We're here at the Boost Performance Center today, and here with the one and only Pep Fernandez, and we're going to go over a real basic vertical jump, all right? We're going to teach you guys the technique and its progression. This is a great drill for really any sports, really emphasizes pure power production through the hips, and power is really important for basically any type of athlete, whether you're a football player, track, soccer, basketball. You know, we all want to be powerful, strong athletes. So we're going to go over that today. All right, so first things first, I'm going to have Jacob go ahead and stand with his feet underneath his hips. So you want to have your toes pointed forward. You want your feet to be about hip width, all right? He's going to have his shoulders flexed, all right, in front of his body. So his arms are up in front. Okay, now, the most important part here is what's called a counter movement. And what that is I'm going to throw my shoulders back into extension, all right? I'm going to flex my hips, all right? So the shoulders are going to be flexed, and the hips are going to, the shoulders are going to be extended, and the hips are going to be flexed, all right? And then we follow that up with shoulder flexion and hip extension. It's got to be really fast, all right? So right now, I'm just going to show you the first phase of that. So Jacob, I want you to drop your hips into flexion. I want you to throw your arms back into extension when I say go. Ready? Go. Right there. So come up. That's the most important movement there. So after that, it's the landing, all right? So we want to get as high as we can. As I go up, I want to extend through my hips, through my knees, I want my toes pointed up. And when we land, I'm going to land back into that hip flexion, arms extended, and I want to stick the landing, all right? So we're going to go over it now. So now we're going to actually jump here, Jacob. I want to see that counter movement. Go ahead and walk a little bit closer to the hurdle here. We're going to extend on the way up. As we elevate, extend through the hips and the knees, stick the landing, throw the arms into extension. Here we go. Ready? On you.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM. Spring football all around the IE underway for a lot of high schools. Of course, the season coming up in August, and then in September for the college teams. And speaking of those college teams, we got the University of Redlands head football coach Mike Maynard here joining us on the show. And Coach, it's awfully quiet right now. It seems kind of weird around the U of R right now. Where's all you guys? Everyone's home, right, for the break?
Well, they are. They're all home. We actually have a kind of an interesting schedule. Most of our guys leave for the month of May, and they'll go home. We don't do summer school at Redlands, so our graduation is at the end of April. So this is very different that we come out to the field and not see anybody here today. So we're looking forward to having them back in August.
But the football activities will really ramp up in less than a month, beginning in June. A ton of big-time programs, college football programs, are coming to the U of R to host some of their satellite camps. Can you talk about what those are and what kind of the purpose they serve, I guess?
Well, we're thrilled to have 8 different Division I schools, NCAA Division I schools, coming to Redlands in June. And so we're pleased to have those schools here, and we kind of partner with them as a coaching staff, and we co-coach a camp, and it's only one practice, so we call it a camp. But it's an opportunity for those young people, number one, to get better at football, and number two, to have the chance of getting the exposure from the Division I schools and coaching staffs.
Now, I came to one, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, but Mike Leach from Washington State. I mean, these are big-time head football coaches from Division I Pac-12 schools. I think Fresno State's going to be here. A lot of great programs. And if you're an Inland Empire high school football guy, you can't get better exposure than something like this. Is that safe to say?
Well, it's really true. You're exactly right, Pep. And the reality is it's hard to get to Pullman, Washington. It's hard to get to the University of Washington. It's hard to go to the University of Colorado. And to try to do every one of those summer camps, it's next to impossible. And so what we do is we try to bring the camp to the young people here in the Inland Empire. And so we're really excited. University of Arizona is an addition to us this year. You mentioned Fresno State. University of Washington is here. This is they've been doing this for us. I guess this will be their 4th year. University of Colorado. Northern Arizona will come with the University of Colorado. So we'll actually have 3 coaching staffs at that camp.
And I believe you added Nebraska, too.
And we added just recently Nebraska, and we're excited about that. So it's really, like I say, it's a time for an opportunity for exposure. Yet at the same time, we want to make sure it's a teaching camp. And every young man should have the opportunity to get better at his skill, whether it's the offensive line or quarterback and everything in between. We want to make certain that they're learning something about football, something they can apply and to help them be better players this fall, and at the same time get the exposure that they deserve.
Coach, is there still time for guys to sign up, and can they go to the U of R Athletics website to get more information?
They certainly can, and we'd like for them to. They can go 2 ways. One of them is Inland Empire Elite. That would get them to the registration form, and then they can also go to goredlands.com and look for our Bulldog football camps, and they can do that. The cost is $50, so we have to be able to charge something, and we give them a nice T-shirt and as much water as they can drink, and a whole lot of football right here on campus, and obviously without the expense of having to drive or fly to these other locations.
Yeah, where in one summer can you get to Arizona and Washington and Colorado and Fresno and all these different places and have all the coaches, like you said, come to one place and get all that great exposure?
One thing that it's really important, and I think this is a great compliment to the Inland Empire, to our coaches in the Inland Empire, our high school coaches, and most of all to the student athletes themselves. This is a compliment to all of them. What am I saying? These coaches think it's that important that they bring their coaching staff to the University of Redlands. They come to them. They're not doing this at all schools across the country. They're not doing this to all regions across the country. They're doing it at the Inland Empire. And so I'm so very proud of our high school coaches and our high school players, because we have the kind of football reputation in the Inland Empire that people want to come and find out about.
Maybe once in a while you get one of those campers to come here, right, and be a Bulldog.
That's exactly the point. I think we're at somewhere between 11 and 12 of the young men that were at the camp last year are going to be dressed out in Bulldog football uniform this fall. And so it does give us an opportunity to evaluate, and for those young men to evaluate us as well.
And Coach, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about the upcoming season. Defending conference champions. You got a lot of guys coming back and the new guys coming in. Are you excited about them as well?
I couldn't be more excited. We have had a great recruiting class. We're still finishing up the last few prospects. That's gone very, very well. We're excited about the guys that are left Bulldog football. Our guys, we graduated 25 young men, but we still have a great group of guys coming in to replace that 25. So this is an exciting time for us, and hopefully an exciting time for the Inland Empire in terms of college football.
This is the University of Redlands head football coach Mike Maynard here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
Thank you so much. Empire in terms of college football.
This is the University of Redlands head football coach Mike Maynard here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
Thank you so much.
The one and only Mike Maynard from the University of Redlands breaking it down here on the Inland Sports Show, proudly brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change, Kids Sporting Goods, Phantom House Studio, and Boost Performance Trading. One other little quick football note here on the Inland Sports Show. San Bernardino Valley College has a new coach, Daniel Algadas. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly because
I wouldn't know what to say. Sounds great.
it's still very top secret. No one's really talking about it. But you know us, we're always breaking the news here. But former offensive coordinator at Ventura College, former UCLA quarterback. They put up some huge numbers at Ventura, but now he's the head coach at Valley. We'll have more information as that becomes more public, but you heard it here first. Daniel Algadas, new head football coach at San Bernardino Valley College. Well, we always have a lot of big guests in here.
Huge.
But I don't think we've ever had this many bald heads in one studio.
Many.
There's a lot of bald heads.
A lot of skin going on. There's a lot of skin in this radio station right now, and it's two men. That's not good.
I told him that he was the second best looking guy in the Riverside.
That is true.
Yeah, there we go.
We got Tim Cook, athletic director, head men's basketball coach at Life Pacific in San Dimas. Coach, welcome to the show. Jeff says you're a big fan. Is that true?
Huge fan.
That is true.
It is true.
Jeff wasn't lying.
So we have 3 fans. Coach Cook is one of them.
We were listening to it in the In-N-Out burger line the other day, my son and I. I think the
Really?
Were the Angels on? I think the Angels are on.
Angels are on.
They're not very good.
no.
Just turn up. Yeah.
I'm a huge Dodger fan, so we won't talk about the Angels.
Well, Coach, man, we're thrilled to have you here on the show. I heard you guys talking a little off the air, and Jeff was telling me that you like the IE high school basketball players. I mean, you're really targeting some of the kids out here.
I do. I think this is a wonderful area. I was at Cal Baptist for 8 years as an assistant, and I always really wanted to recruit our own area. I think there's great athletes here. I think there's great people here, and I think you have to recruit the community. And it's an incredible area, not only for basketball, but for athletics in general. And then I went away to San Diego, and I still recruited the area, and I still kept my ties here. And now being back in the Inland Empire again, I'm just like a kid in a candy store. I'm all over the place, from Corona to Temecula, over to San Bernardino, and then we have a great area with Chino Hills and Laverne and in our area too. It's a great recruiting ground.
I heard Santa Rosa Academy's on the rise.
Yes.
There might be some
He's
play.
going to have to recruit some of my guys. But, they'll at least be able to get into school. I guarantee that. If he needs a 6'1" post guy, maybe. But, no.
A 6'1" post guy. I'm sure he needs one of those.
Yes, exactly. But, Coach Cook is... You guys finished 7th in the nation this year.
Yeah, in our first year. I cannot believe, I still shake my head about what transpired at the school and the environment. We changed the culture. We came in and I was able to use some of the concepts that I learned at Cal Baptist and previously and at San Diego Christian, and we recruited the right kids. I have incredible assistant coaches, and the infrastructure was there. It happened a lot quicker than I thought it would, and we just ended up with just an incredible season. We actually had the ball with 40 seconds left. It was tied to beat Pepperdine, and we missed shots. 2 shots went in and out, and Murray picked the ball up at half court and scored it and got fouled. But what an amazing season. And then we ended up in Indiana at the national tournament. So
I think you said Pepperdine.
Yes.
Like that's Division I Pepperdine, like in Malibu Pepperdine, right?
I will say, exactly. And I will say this: wherever Coach Cook has been, he was down at San Diego Christian, I believe. Mm-hmm. We have a good friend in Coach Fisher. He played San Diego State. He's always playing these big-time Division I programs, and he's doing the same here at Life. So, who do you have on the schedule this upcoming season?
We've got Utah State, Cal State Northridge, University of San Diego, Southern Utah, and we're working on a couple other big ones. UC Irvine looks good for next year. It's an incredible schedule. We have the toughest small college schedule in the country. But I'll tell you what, it's gotten our name out. We've been competitive in those games, and we're just going to continue to do them as long as those things help. I just want to help the school. It's not so much just about the basketball program, but it's about getting Life Pacific College out there as a brand. Hey, where is that school? What are you guys about? And we can show them what we're about.
Man, so those are big-time teams you're playing. And I was going through your schedule from last season. It's not like you're going to these places and getting blown out. I mean, these are close, competitive games. You don't go into, let's say, Pepperdine and say, well, guys, let's try to keep it within 30. I mean, like you said, you almost beat them. You had them on the ropes.
Yeah, I mean, Marty wasn't too happy with me at all, the head coach for Pepperdine.
It's a lose-lose for them, right?
It was interesting. But, as a competitor, you don't care who you're playing. Mm-hmm. You get your kids prepared. I get that question asked all the time. Our president, Dr. Adams, always asks me, hey, how do you feel about, what do you tell the kids when you go into that game? It's the same preparation as you go in with a regular team, but they just have bigger, stronger, more powerful guys. But you don't change your game plan just because you're playing one of those big schools. But it was an incredible component for us to get our name out. And again, it happened quicker than we thought. Competitively, when you do well against those schools, it travels quick. Believe me, I got some calls the next day said, Cook, we're not scheduling you. Sometimes that's a bad thing, but it is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. So I just it's been a tremendous thing for our school.
And now, can you tell us, being the athletic director, what other sports do you guys have? And tell us something about your college that a lot of the people in the Inland Empire are pretty much unaware of.
Yeah. It's a great question. We're going to have 9 sports in 2018. We have 6 right now: cross country, men's and women's volleyball, men's basketball, track and field, and then we're adding women's basketball and men's golf 2018 of fall. It's a faith-based school. We're a Christian school. We just entered the NEIA, which is a huge thing for the school. We were a small Bible college. And they didn't have sports before I got there for 8 years. So we started back the programs. And a lot of people didn't know that because, as you know, when you go away, people forget about you.
Exactly.
And we have a beautiful little campus in San Dimas. It's right across the street from San Dimas High School, and it's right down the street from the water park there. Nice. And we have a tremendous staff and people that are growing the school. But we are also going to grow it through our athletic programs. And we have about 700 people that go to school there, and we're just really excited about the future.
You got some basketball kids, too. Jeff was telling me, who was the kid from Woodcrest?
Hezekiah Banks.
There you go.
Hezekiah Banks played in our All-Star game, and I've known the family for years, a great kid. And well, if those are the type of kids you're recruiting, you're doing the right thing, doing it the right way.
I really appreciate it. He's a pastor's son and a great fit for us. He's developing. We had some tremendous kids, some older kids that were in front of him, but I'm expecting some great things for him. He has his vision of what he wants to be, and we have a vision for him and his development. I talked to him extensively as he goes into his sophomore year. We're expecting more and more from him. And again, I love to get some local kids because that's what we need to be recruiting this area. There's so many good players.
Yeah, you don't have to go far. I mean, our studio is located in Riverside, and Corona that way, and Temecula that way, and San Bernardino and Redlands. I mean, really, you could just do a big circle right here in the IE and be like, okay, I'm done. You know what I mean?
It's very true. It's funny because people ask me, like, you go outside the area, and we actually finished the national tournament 7th, and we had all California kids on our roster. And that's an amazing testimony to our area. And really, a lot of people are like, how do you stay in your lane when you have to get a Christ-centered kid to your school? And it's all about relationships. It's all about identifying the right kids and evaluating. And we just have been doing it for 20 plus years. My assistant, Coach Rich Salgado, and my other assistant, Brandon, have an incredible knack of finding the right kids, the right fit, and then we vet through it. You have to have a Christian kid at our school. They have to have a testimony. And I can tell you this, we not only have a great school, our kids are amazing. They're amazing to coach, and that's why we were successful.
Well, you're a big-time successful coach, and I'm sure you know this. Jeff got out of coaching for a year. Now he's a professional broadcaster. He's stepping back into coaching. You guys are all laughing.
Yeah,
professional,
I'm laughing,
professional broadcaster.
It's because you're funny.
But Coach Cook, give Jeff some advice here, just some basketball coaching
Give me
advice
something.
as he steps back into the basketball coaching world at Santa Rosa. What's the best piece of advice you can pass along to Jeff besides not growing any hair, but
or just don't say quit. Don't be like,
First of all, we need to get Jeff healthy. His knees have to stand up to get out there and coach. But Jeff will do a wonderful job. He had my son way back in the day, and we bonded right away. And he's just got such a great personality and a love for the game. He knows the game. And those kids are going to be really, really fortunate. I actually hope that I can get a kid. Not a 6'1" post, but I hope because we could get a 6'1".
I'm almost a 6'1".
Yeah, 6'1" engineer from what I hear about the school. But the quality human being that he is, and the people that will want to play and come to him, and he's ingrained in this area, and that's why I know Jeff. He's an Inland Empire guy, and there's really he has so much experience. There's nothing I can tell him that is. We were talking off the air, and he's got some real bullies in his conference. He's got some tough games.
Yeah, they changed my league last week, Pep.
They did?
They did.
You came in here and said you were going to win league.
Oh, yeah, I was excited to win league.
You said Rancho Christian's out, you're going to win
Oh, yeah, it gets better. CIF just put us in the league with Rancho Christian, Carnegie, and Temecula Prep.
Wait,
and
Carnegie with all the Europeans?
Yeah, all those foreign guys. They're all 6'10".
You were going to win league.
I was fired up. I still am. We're going to go out and beat the crap out of those guys. Rancho Christian and those 6'11", 7-footers.
They drug you back in.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Coach Cook, Coach Cook's son, Austin, is one of the best sophomore or freshman right now, going to be a sophomore in the entire country. Goes to Damien High School, plays for Riverside Ramonas. LeDuc, Coach.
Oh, okay,
LeDuc.
yeah.
So, what's that like being a college coach and your son being recruited by everybody right now?
That's unbelievable. He first of all, he plays for, in my opinion, one of the best high school coaches of all time, in Mike LeDuc. Damien, the old Glendora coach who coached Tracy Murray, Cam Murray, Casey Jacobson. Austin is a beautiful kid. It's hard for me because I'm a coach and a dad, and so sometimes it's hard to separate those things. He's a 6'5" wing that has multiple Division I offers already, and he plays for the Travel Ball and the Compton Magic, who do a terrific job with Adidas and touring the United States and playing the best competition. And then Damien High School is an open division high school who they have great success. And he's so well coached, and he's a very, very humble individual. And we're a God-first family, so every day I tell him his approach is to be humble and hungry. And I'll tell you one thing, the old school approach, he gets in the gym 6 days a week, and he gets in the weight room, and he earns everything that comes to him. And so I can't wait to watch his development. I don't think he's going to be playing for Dad.
No.
You can recruit him, though. You can try.
Give it your best. You can offer him the most. I mean, he's really good.
My assistants want to sign him right now.
Yeah, sure. Lock him in, right?
But I just appreciate it. It's not hard to talk about him, so it's a great thing.
Well, Coach Cook, can you hang around for one more segment?
Absolutely, I'd love to.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to tell you real quick what's going on in the local baseball and softball worlds, and we'll have a little bit more with Coach Cook as we round out this edition of the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM. Plus, we're live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports Channel. We'll be right back.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
excited about offering still and motion photography, motion graphics, which is like television style, promo style graphics, and sports edits, which we're really excited about because we get to incorporate not only photography but graphics and effects, which is I'd say our strength. You know, something that screams action, athletic, information, all in one unit, and easily to share with friends, family, coaches. Get you something creative, have fun with it, have fun with the photo shoot. We have our gear that we need to be ambitious with our production value. Really excited about the offer of sports edits, and especially when you see some of the major college programs, what they come up with, and the fact that we can have just as good a production value. You know what, I don't think we've really seen the potential of what we can do with the sports edit. That's part of the reason I'm kind of excited. More to come, I guess.
IE Sports, heard right here on Fox Sports Radio 1350 and foxsportsradio1350.com. Now, here's more with Pep on the Inland Empire Sports Show.
Now, listen, I already love Coach Cook, but here's the big question, Jeff. If he's going to be part of our little group, our little inner circle.
A pentavern of guys.
A tavern?
a pentavern. The Pope, the Gettys, the Rothschilds, and the Colonel and his wee beady eyes.
But the big question is, do you like Star Wars, Coach Cook?
Absolutely unbelievable.
Yes!
Unbelievable.
Okay, he's in.
Part of the group.
I watched Return of the Jedi on TNT the other night with my wife, and it was just it was incredible. Yeah, oh my gosh.
He's in.
Someone needs to film this. By the way, you guys need to be on TV. If people could see you guys, oh my gosh.
They don't want to see
us.
I got a face for radio.
No. But they don't want me on.
I watch all of them, all 6 of them, with Connor and Johnny. Actually, Johnny,
you were laid up. What were you gonna do?
May the 4th be with you. I was in surgery. May the 5th. May the Sith be with you. Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
Oh.
Yeah, we
as good as they get.
We watched
the turn of Anakin.
Oh. We watched all 6 of them. My 4-year-old was like, "This is the greatest thing in the world," and he was like crying when Darth Vader died in Jedi. Crying.
Powerful. Listen, we could nerd out really hard right now, but we're gonna talk a little sports. Real quick. So Taylor Dawkins, we had Norco High School softball on the show a couple of weeks ago, beating cancer. Awesome story. Well, she picked up her 104th career victory, a new CIF Southern Section record in that 5-1 winning in Centennial earlier this week. Norco finishes the season a perfect 30-0. They're number 1 in the nation.
Whole country.
The whole country, Jeff. Wow. The whole galactic empire. I'm talking about the Rebels, the Empire, everybody.
Yeah, they don't play
undefeated.
softball anywhere else other than the United States. They play in Australia or something like that. But wow, that's best
30
in the world.
Best in the world. So now they're going to go out and try to win that Division I CIF Southern Section title. And Taylor Dawkins leading the way. We're so happy. We had her on the show. She was at that Make-A-Wish event. She called in, remember? And the team was in studio, so we were excited about that. On the high school baseball diamond, and then also in the land of the Big Eight, Corona was taking on Santiago.
I saw that.
Intern Colin was at the game.
He's everywhere.
Yes, Corona won 3-2. So what does that mean?
Corona's the champion?
Well, it means the Panthers and Sharks are going to split that title. That's what it means.
Oh, that's weak.
And here's how the land of the Big Eight shaped up. Santiago and Corona both 10-5. King and Roosevelt 9-6. They're like right on their heels.
So what do
Crazy.
they do? Who does it a coin flip then?
It's head-to-head, so Corona actually took 2 or 3 from Santiago. So in terms of playoff seedings, Corona will be the higher seed. But they're both co-league champs.
So 4 teams will get in from the Big Eight.
Got it.
Okay.
Got to. And finally, go check out the Riverside TV highlight reel this week. It's North and Riverside Poly Baseball. Got video highlights of that one as JW North came back into the co-championship here. JW North came back, beat Riverside Poly 5-0. So the Bears and the Huskies will share the Inland Valley League championship.
Good. Beat those Bears. I'm a Ramona Ram.
Oh, that's right. You don't like them, yeah.
I don't care about the Bears.
Go check out those highlights on Riverside TV right now. They're already posted. Hundreds of views already.
Hundreds!
People love it. All right, we're running out of time. Yeah, we're really running out of time. But real quick, I want to get your guys' thoughts on the NBA playoffs. Our guy, Kawhi Leonard, the pride of Riverside King High School, the guy that Jeff discovered.
And sent to Coach Fisher.
Yes.
Didn't even play. They win by 34.
Yes. Can they beat Golden State?
No, not even close. But how about Harden Thursday night? Holy smokes.
Was he even there? It was like the invisible man. Like, was he?
They said he was out clubbing afterwards.
He was out clubbing.
Oh, are you serious?
I think somebody was clubbing. If he would have been in my club, I'd have clubbed him. I'd have beat him up.
I don't like Harden.
Oh.
Coach Cook, who's going to win the whole thing?
I have to go with Golden State.
Yes.
I cannot. I'll tell you this, though. I am a huge Gordon Hayward fan because that's who I want my son to emulate his game. And I watched the Golden State-Utah series, and they had no answer for anyone. They just run a high ball screen. They tried to switch it, and Kevin Durant just goes to work. And then on the other end, they couldn't score the ball well enough. I think Tony Parker being gone for the Spurs is really going to hurt them. They'll get Kawhi back, but Golden State's just a machine right now.
Who's your MVP?
Oh, my goodness. I think you got to give it to Westbrook. I don't like it because whether were they 7th seed, 6th seed? Yeah. And that's tough for me.
They got bounced in the first round.
Yeah, but you can't discredit that. That was one of the most remarkable seasons, and he's just an absolute beast. What a player.
Who's your MVP, Jeff?
Yeah, probably Westbrook, but
you wouldn't pick Kawhi. You discovered Kawhi.
Yeah, I like Kawhi. Kawhi's one of my favorites of all time. He was the 4th best player on his high school team. But I mean, look at it. And Tony Parker, that was karma, just because what he did to Eva Longoria. She was so hot. How dare you?
That was karma.
That was karma. You don't do that to her. No one puts Eva in the corner like that.
Oh my goodness.
But no, I'd have to say Westbrook. But I think he should be a dang Laker. I don't want to see him I want to see him in Oklahoma, for God's sakes. I don't.
Yeah. Well,
who's yours, Pep?
My MVP. I want to go with Kawhi. He's just because I'm a defense guy. I like defense. I like low pitching baseball games.
Yeah, that's why you're wearing a soccer shirt.
I like 0-0 ties. I like defense. I'll go Kawhi Leonard.
That's horrible.
The Inland Sports Show, proudly brought to you by Spoiled. Quick quality oil change. You'll be spoiled by their customer service and great prices. Check them out off of Alessandro Boulevard. Spoiled. We love you guys. We love you, Bill Navigado. Ken Sporting Goods, more than 40 years and still going strong in the Inland Empire, taking care of all your sporting gear needs, including Letterman's jackets. They do the embroidery. They probably do tapestry. They can do all kinds of stuff.
That's where I get my cup. I'm telling you, that's where I wear my cup every day.
Phantom House Studio. Nobody has better sports edits for the athlete in your life. Senior pictures. I mean, everyone's got a student, right? Get your senior pictures at Phantom House Studio. Hey, you got a high school student in your house. You could send them to a Phantom House for those senior pictures in a year or 2.
Yeah, I have to.
3?
I was thinking they'd sell gas too. How many things?
Yeah. And we also got Boost Training. Coach Ray Bass and his team, the very best, grooming that athlete. Whether you want the starting job, maybe you want to make varsity, maybe you're trying to get a scholarship to Life Pacific, whatever, they can hook it up.
Will they be able to get me into my house? That's my big thing. Is
they could rehab you, Jeff.
They could rehab me to get in my house.
We can document it.
I got to make my home team. My wife won't let me in the house.
Coach Cook, also the athletic director for Life Pacific. We appreciate the time. You were a lot of fun, and I'm glad you like Star Wars. Now you're in the inner circle. So.
Oh my goodness, there's nothing better than that saga. It's funny. I just watched it the other day. I appreciate you guys are so much fun, man. I appreciate me being on the show.
Well, thanks, Coach. We appreciate you stopping by. Alexander Mattison, Boise State running back, live in studio. Man, poster guy for just all good things.
Man,
stud.
I'm telling you what, I'm feeling pretty positive today.
I am too. I feel a little inadequate having like Coach Cook and Alexander.
I feel so uplifted right now.
I know, it was a good show. And also Coach Maynard, Mike Maynard, the head football coach at the University of super good guy.
Gosh.
Man, what are they doing with us?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Surrounded by good guys, and I'm pretty borderline, like, you know.
You are borderline.
Borderline heaven. I'm purgatory guy.
And if you go to the Inland Sports YouTube channel right now, you can watch the complete live broadcast of the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame class of 2017. You can watch the whole thing. It's up there right now on the channel. I'm Pep Fernandez. We'll see you next Saturday on the one and only Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I think that's my passion because I've done it. You know, I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, you know, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and help them reach their athletic potential, help them, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, in terms of speed, power, strength, agility.